Hello, Maverick traders, and welcome out to your daily currency recap. This is Ankit here, and I'll be breaking down today's market price action. Another wild day in the market, so let's quickly get into it. As always, we'll be taking a look at broader market analysis, take a look at what's really moving the market, what the currency basket is telling us, and then we'll take a look at some possible setups ahead. Let's get into it.
Do you want to be a professional trader? Maverick Currencies is the oldest US-based Forex and crypto prop trading company that will pay you for trading with our capital. Trade our capital and keep 70 to 80% of the profits. We are looking for traders just like you that are hardworking and motivated. Click the apply link on the top right of this video to see if you have what it takes. That link takes you to a 4-minute video that explains the trader position available, and you read a list of FAQs that answer pretty much all the basic questions you have at this point. After watching the video and reading the FAQs, if you're interested, fill out an application, then you'll watch the full-length recruiting video, and then schedule an interview with one of our traders. Are you our next trader?
So jumping into market analysis, let's just quickly cover our Las Vegas summit. Well, I must say that after all this volatility, I'm definitely looking forward to getting some downtime as we meet up for our annual summit. I think it's our 15th annual summit in Vegas. So anybody that signed up, amazing. Looking forward to meeting you guys. If not, we have a very short period for you to sign up. All right, so let's just take a look at what really happened in the markets. Well, news of the day was that there was a massive reversal in the equity market. So, we talk about how we are in this environment where broader markets are just leading and causing a lot of moves. So we go from a risk on to a risk off. The way we started off the day, markets were looking pretty weak. China retaliated again to the escalation from the U.S. with their additional tariffs. So that was really what's bogging down the markets. But then we got that massive news that the Trump announced that they are pausing the tariffs, that 10% tariffs, that broad-based tariff against all major countries. That was dropped for 90 days. So again, that's a huge good news. They did exempt China and Canada from it, which means that anything that's going on with China continues, and then even Canada, it kind of continues. So pretty much the countries that retaliated are not being exempted from it from everybody else. They're getting this reprieve. So again, this is a massive reprieve from all the pressure that's been building up around tariffs. And what happened in the markets? We got this massive risk-on environment. I mean, take a look at these percentage change. We have Aussie up 2.81%, Kiwi up 1.34%. And then you take a look at other areas where, the area that was actually outperforming is the one that's hurting the most. So we're looking at the biggest move in the yen, 2.15%, and almost 2% in Swiss franc. So you can see that this is a big U-turn. Where the best are getting now are getting killed here. The worst performer are actually rising here. So this is what we call a major shift in the markets. Now, if we take a look at broader markets, I mean, these numbers are outstanding. I mean, take a look at S&P 500, almost 10% gain. World Stock Index, 8.52%. You're taking a look at gold, taking a look at oil. This is again a massive gain across the board. Now, as we jump into our market outlook, this is where you will have to make a pivot into your trading here, because the scoring still will show that markets are in a downtrend, which again it clearly is. We are still below the 20 to 50, but I mean, take a look at this candlestick here today. So this candlestick again erased, the last 4 days of losses here. So that's a massive reversal. So at this point, again, markets are likely to, rise from here. We probably see more the volatility, the VIX start to come down, and we start to see a little bit more continuation of this in the broader market. So I think at this point, you take a look at those 4-hour charts and hourly charts, there will be the one guiding you for this momentum to the upside. Now, when we take a look at news events, remember I said that yesterday where when we have all this global market volatility, markets don't really pay close attention to these news events. And we had the RBNZ rate statement last night, and it was crickets. Nothing really came out of it. That was, again, they cut the rates by 25 basis points, which was as expected. Nothing new, nothing out of the ordinary. So not a big change there. Now, in the next 24 hours, we do have the US CPI that's going to be coming out tomorrow. That's something we're going to pay close attention to, especially as you can see.
So
let's just start with the
tariffs, broader market.
So you can see that there we are. The daily
question
chart
is,
is that impacting? It's going to be in a downtrend.
Inflation here,
this is where,
or is that going to kind of move
cause the number to a lower
time frame,
or does that number come in line with expectation? So we'll kind of wait and see. But based on that,
at this point, I think we'll probably see.
Especially if that number comes out
a small pullback
or a little bit base, I think that could be a good buying opportunity
for the US
looking
dollar.
for continuation.
So we still have a few events to go.
We are looking at the next
for the
24
rest of the
hours.
week, but I
and then
think
again,
the
if you
biggest
take a
thing
look
is that
at you
what's
have that
going to
market
benefit the
volatility that's
most,
come down,
and what thing is going to
allow you to look for those continuation.
So remember,
patterns,
I said that yesterday as well.
Things on a little higher time frame because now
as
market volatility that's based on market sentiment,
I think there's going to be some nice opportunities
on
that recovery.
You probably
so
see
let's just jump
things
into our
that
currency
were
analysis
kind of being on the edge.
Take a look at things one by
like
one.
The yen, like the Swiss franc, they're likely to pull back a bit further. So I know if you look at this little blip over here, you see like, oh, there's a big move. But I mean, zoom out here, you can see like there's that massive breakout that we had in the Swiss franc. I mean, this big rally over here. So there's that little exhaustion sort of what we're getting in this one. Here's a daily chart, and you can see that this is a nice little bearish engulfing candle here. So that's what we're getting here on the Swiss franc, on the yen. So I like that. I think I'll be looking for some continuation. Like I said, looking for some bases here. We got that big drop over here. You look for some bases, or maybe look for a bear rally to short it too. I think that's really where you want to be. With the US dollar, you can see that dollar didn't really have a biggest move. And, in this whole tariff situation, dollar's not been the biggest mover. You can see that it's kind of absent with a lot of the volatility here. So I would say, focus on the yen, focus on the Swiss franc. I think that's really where you're going to get the biggest move. Dollar, I'm kind of on the sideline here. As far as we go into the European currencies, we're getting a very similar thing. As that news came out, you can see that even euro took a bit of a plunge here as well. Again, this is telling me that euro was actually acting more on that safe haven status. So I think as we go into the next 24 hours, we probably see more weakness in the euro as well, as we see Swiss franc comes down as well. So here's the British pound. You can see that this thing was leading, but right now I think I like euro better than the pound. Now, when I go into some of the growth currencies, well, you can see that the CAD is looking very nice here. The question is that, do I want to go after CAD or do I want to go after Aussie or Kiwi? And I think this is where, Canadian, I'll rather focus on things that were beaten down the most. I think they're going to have more of a bigger rally. So here we are, taking a look at the Aussie. You can see it was a big, nice little recovery here. This is a 4-hour chart. Daily, again, is going to continue to show you that big downtrend, but I think in the shorter term, as you look at an hourly chart, look for some setups on that. I think will be a decent one to look at. And same thing goes with the Kiwi as well. The things that hurt the most are going to be able to get a nice reprieve rally from here. So this again was a global event. You can see everything sort of had a massive reversal. So when we go into the other markets, as we go into the Asian markets, or we get into the European markets, we'll probably see a continuation of that. And another thing to take a look at is VIX, which is the market gauge for volatility. As you can see, that was a big reversal in market volatility as well. I mean, we almost hit 60, and where we are now, getting towards that 33 area. So this is, again, you could go back in time. We had a bigger volatility event last year in August. As you can see that after that, things, once that capitulate or market environment changes, this start to gradually come down. So this is, again, a good news for traders that are kind of holding on the sideline because, volatility just too high, or you're not getting good setup on those 4-hour charts because continuity is not there. I think those things will correct itself over here. So I like, again, setups on both hourly charts here, even a 4-hour chart. I think continuation is what we're looking for here. So just to summarize here, looking for that continuation for today's move. I like the Aussie and the Kiwi on the upside, yen and Swiss franc to the downside, along with the euro. Outside of that, I think we'll probably see some consolidation here. So that's the game plan. Again, good to see market change or have that big relief after a few days of massive selling. So look for that continuation pattern. I think there'll be good, decent risk to reward opportunities here in the next 24 to 48 hours. Thanks everyone for joining. See you in the next one. Happy trading.